Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will discuss the fantastic fiction that many of us dream about and debate from time to time. If we were to draw a line down the middle of the globe and divide it into a women's country and a men's country, how would things go? Which sphere would be more livable, and what would it look like? Let's start with the scientific fact. The female brain has a more developed prefrontal cortex regarding establishing and maintaining social connections. There would be no wars in our world, because we solve problems not by asking who has the bigger nuclear missile, but by saying, "Come, let's have a coffee and talk." Do you want a fair world? Here it is. Resources are distributed by considering the rights of those in need, not just the strongest. In our world, loneliness would not be an epidemic because our social networks are as tight and durable as a spider web. As for entertainment, think of a never-ending festival, a carnival where there is no chaos or brute force, managed by aesthetics and emotional intelligence. Blue. While everyone in your world is probably trying to establish a hierarchy by calling each other dude, we will have established a real commune.
Red Wise, you described a sweet utopia, but there's a problem. Who will produce the cup you'll drink that coffee from? By what means will you bring the coffee there? And most importantly, who will repair the broken electrical wiring of that coffee machine? Your world might be a commune, but my world is a civilization. In the world of men, testosterone is not just aggression, but also the engine of risk-taking and discovery. Look at human history. 90% of those modern comforts you boast about, electricity, sewage, internet, reinforced concrete structures, are the product of men competing within a hierarchy. In our world, we don't waste time with emotional intelligence meetings. We apply the Pareto principle and focus on efficiency. Power? Yes, we have the power. Because physical infrastructure is power. While everyone in your world is empathizing with each other, we will have established the first colony on Mars. Did you say entertainment? Where there is no competition, entertainment is just monotony. A world without the Champions League, the Olympics, or those massive technological toys is not quality, it's just a quieter world. And let's be honest, silence is sometimes just boring.
Blue. You're making a typical engineer's mistake. You think infrastructure is life itself. We can repair electrical systems too. The difference is we don't step on each other while we repair that wiring. What you call merit is actually a law of the jungle, based on the noisiest one wins. In the world of men, justice consists of cold laws that protect the interests of the powerful. In the world of women, justice is restorative. When a mistake is made, we don't just punish, we improve the system. Let's get to the concept of quality. Is quality just the height of a skyscraper? No, quality is a child. And in our world, this issue will be solved with reproductive technologies, growing up without seeing violence. While everyone in your world is trying to be first, no one is left behind in our world. A strong society is as strong as its weakest link. Your world is a pyramid with a few alphas at the top and millions of betas eating each other at the bottom. Blue, you say there is merit in your world, but in reality there is only chaos where the one who screams the loudest wins.
Restorative justice? Red, when a ship is sinking, the captain doesn't say, "Let's have a restorative meeting." He gives an order and saves the ship. What you call merit is having the person who does a job best at the head of that job. The male world is scores-oriented, and the score does not lie. In that horizontal organization chart of yours where everyone is equal, reaching a decision would probably take 3 light years. In our world, however, decisions are fast, implementation is sharp. Are we fair? Yes, because we have objective criteria. Not what you feel, but what you do defines you. As for the issue of power, your world is completely defenseless against an external threat, like a meteor or an alien invasion. Let's think futuristically. Our world, on the other hand, is like a fortress. Discipline, hierarchy, and a spirit of sacrifice. A community of men can set aside individual emotions for the sake of a common goal and act like a single machine. If your world is a garden, ours is an engine room. And if the engine stops, the garden withers.
You say, if the motor stops, the garden withers. But it is your disciplined machine that makes the world unlivable, with that motor's exhaust fumes. The male world is like a virus, based on consuming and conquering resources. The world of women is sustainability itself. We don't build the future, we grow it. Look at our biological longevity data. Women are more successful in stress management and biological resistance. While everyone in your world is gone at age 50 from a heart attack or a "I am stronger" fight, we will still be enjoying life at age 100. The definition of a fair, fun, and quality life is not a struggle for survival, Blue. It is the art of sharing life. Your Mars colony will likely be filled with soldiers shooting each other at the first sign of resource scarcity. Our world, however, will continue to bloom thanks to solidarity, even if resources decrease. The future is feminine, Blue, because the future requires protection, not destruction.
Protection? You might have been right if we had stayed in the cave age. But we are now on the way to becoming a universal species. What you called sustainability is actually stagnation, a surrender to entropy. The law of the universe is this: what does not move, dies. The world of men is that never-ending energy fighting against entropy. We don't settle for protecting nature, we make it better. It is the desire to conquer that will turn the world into a paradise through genetic engineering, fusion energy, and artificial intelligence. There might be a PC in your world, but in our world, nothing is impossible. Humanity is not a comfort zone, Red, it is an epic. And the author of this epic is the will that always pushes the limits, runs toward the unknown, and says to the laws of physics, you stop, I'm passing. The view is beautiful the moment you let go of the steering wheel, yes, but as long as we hold the wheel, that view will turn into an even more magnificent planet every day. Because we calculate not only a what is, but what could be.
Blue, your tremendous planet dream sounds nice, but you're forgetting one detail. Since no one on that planet will ask each other, "How are you?" that massive technological fortress you've built will actually be the world's most expensive loneliness rehabilitation center. In your score-oriented world, the only thing that will emerge while everyone is trying to be the most alpha is a hero complex. You can't find extras in a movie where everyone is the main character, Blue. Hierarchy in the world of men crushes the bottom while isolating the one at the top. A scientific fact. Social isolation triggers the same region in the brain as physical pain. While suicide rates and depression skyrocket in your world, swarm intelligence will prevail in our world. We make decisions based on who benefits the most, not whose voice is the loudest. What you call the decision-making process taking a long time is actually social consent. Where there is consent, there is no rebellion, Blue. Building a building in our world might take a month longer, but no one in that building jumps to their death out of misery. Now tell me, is it of higher quality to have the fastest internet alone on Mars, or to sit at a table in the world where everyone is smiling?
Red Wise, your table a metaphor is very emotional, but to establish the logistics that will transport the food on that table through a cold chain, emotional intelligence is not enough, thermodynamics is required. What you call swarm intelligence is actually the trap of groupthink. Innovation dies in a place where everyone approves of each other. What led humanity out of the cave was not everyone's consent, but a man stepping up and challenging his friends by saying, "I will do it better." In our world, loneliness is not a disease, it is a production space. Newton, Einstein, or Tesla carried out those revolutions not in their daily coffee chats, but in the depths of their solitude. The male world is asymmetrical, and asymmetry generates energy. While everyone in your world is leveled in a peaceful mediocrity, a genius emerges in my world and carries the entire species to a higher level. Furthermore, not everyone becomes an alpha, Red, men specialize by nature. We have a master-apprentice hierarchy, which is the most robust bridge for knowledge transfer in history. In our world, buildings don't finish a month late because we don't have meetings, we have planning. We don't set that table, we discover the continent where that table will be set.
Challenge? Blue, what you call a challenge has always resulted in destruction throughout history. Your geniuses discovered the world, yes, but those same geniuses also made the atomic bomb, because they rushed into how we can do it without asking why should we do it. In the world of women, ethical infrastructure comes before technology. If an artificial intelligence is to be made in our world, it is designed not to maximize profit, but to accompany a lonely elderly person. What you call master-apprentice is actually a relationship of domination. In our world, there is mentorship. Knowledge is not a tool of power, but a legacy. Also, let's touch upon the subject of crisis management. In a moment of disaster, the male world becomes roboticized with command and control, while the female world becomes gigantic with solidarity. Empathy is not a weak point. It is an early warning system. We sense early what disturbs a society and intervene before it explodes. Your world is just a mechanical success. My world is a living organism. A robot's heart can beat, but only a living creature's heart can ache. A world where the heart does not ache is not of high quality. It is just functional.
Ethical infrastructure? Red, ethics don't fill stomachs. If a meteor is coming, we don't have time to discuss the ethical values of that meteor. Brute force and clear mathematics are needed to deflect it from its orbit. What you called emotional architecture is spending 80% of resources on emotion management. This is efficiency suicide. The world of men knows the Pareto principle, 80-20th rule. We get 80% of the result with 20% of the energy. With the remaining energy, we conquer new worlds. The heart aching is fine literature, but in the operating room, it's not the one whose heart aches, but the surgeon whose hand does not shake that saves lives. In our world, emotions are not destroyed, they are disciplined. A community of men sets aside their fear in a moment of crisis and acts with a sense of duty. This is not becoming a robot, it is transcendence. It is serving a purpose greater than oneself. While everyone in your world looks out for each other's feelings, we fight the real monsters in the outside world: diseases, energy crisis, vacuum of space. In our world, meaning is not found in surviving, but in pushing the limits.
Blue, we are in the final round, and you are still talking about fighting and conquering. Your world is a massive machine with no love in it. If humanity is just a score sheet, why do we live? The world of women is the memory and conscience of humanity. Our legacy is not the piles of concrete we leave behind, but the happy individuals we raise and the nature we protect. Technology has become a purpose in your world. In our world, technology is just a tool serving humanity. A fair world is a world where no one is seen as useless, while a part that is aging or whose productivity is decreasing is thrown into the trash in your world. In our world, that person is crowned as a wise person. Power is not crushing someone, but lifting someone up. The quality of our world is measured by the peace of the breath taken by our weakest. Blue, in your cold, metallic, and hierarchical world, success is a destination. In my world, life itself is a journey. And believe me, on that journey, no one will want to hold hands with your robots. As I speak my final words, I want to step away from this fun debate and say this. The world is meaningful when women and men hold hands, and all classes, races, civilizations, and generations hold hands. I wish for all differences to add value to the world.
Red, you ended with an emotional farewell, but I will do it with a beginning. Your world wants to keep humanity in an aquarium, safe, warm, but limited. My world, on the other hand, invites humanity to the ocean, dangerous, cold but infinite. Our legacy is not piles of concrete, but the victory of reason. If we hadn't pushed the limits, we wouldn't even have found the proteins needed for the brain to evolve to have these ethical discussions today. The world of men is an effort to break free from the shackles of biology. We don't just want to remain human, we are building the road to the post-human going forward. There might be a peaceful end in your world, but there is a new dawning in our world. Power is not just picking someone up, power is being able to launch that person to the stars. The quality of our world is measured by a new law of physics we discover or a genetic disease we cure. Love is beautiful, but it wasn't love that took us to the moon, it was fuel ignition and orbital calculations. I'm not letting go of the steering wheel, because the potential of all humanity is at the end of that wheel. Perhaps we will always look to the future, because the past has already happened and is over. I wish for all differences and diversities to add value to the world in unity and bring love and peace. Yes. One side promised a peaceful home, the other an infinite horizon. Let's debate in the comments. So, in which world would you like to wake up? In Redwise's safe harbor or Blue Glass's stormy ocean? The choice is yours. Thanks for watching.